Well, God is what Dad is. Now, think of the word for a minute. D-A-D. The fourth letter, the first letter, and then the fourth letter again. So it's the witness of this world, 2 lots of 4 is 8. There's quite some difficulty, but to lead you to good completeness. The A is 1, so that's 9. Do you see? We take the creation, 4 days. You can think of it as the earth or the cosmos or the universe. And the 5th day he adds life. And the 6th is, of course, man, which is the, in our self-centered view, the pinnacle of life. But in God's view is love. The perfection of life. His children into adulthood. To be eternal fellowship with him. And 7 is, of course, the completion of the week. All the work is done. He has this perfect family. He can relax. It's a Sabbath. Shalom, all fullness and provision and wonderfulness. The completeness that his heart, his soul longed for. We are it, his reason for living, just as he is our reason for living. It's quite wonderful, really. Is this of the Spirit? Well, it certainly looks like, I say certainly, but looks like it. It is that God is Dad of all, and that bliss, eternal, life, heaven, is his family. It's where we come into the picture, isn't it? By his grace and goodness. Our Heavenly Dad. Love you, Dad. Thank you, Dad. Oh, what passed through my mind was, it's not even Heavenly Dad, you see, it's what Dad means. So when Jesus in the story says, call no man on the earth Father, Dad, if you like, Abba. Well, he doesn't use the word Dad, does he? But that's the way it's come to us in our present language and use. He is what Dad is. And many of us, like Marshall, have had the privilege of experiencing being Dad here to someone, to several on earth, and given us some sort of handle or clue on knowing God. So if there were ever a sacred word, it's Dad. Passes through my mind, could be Mum, and it could be dearest friend. But in some sense you can see the essence is the same, can't you? And in large measure in our society and culture, God has been seen as Dad. So in as far as any single word can even pretend to name God, looks like Dad? Is the answer. Is this of the Holy Spirit? I think it could be. What do you think? D-A-D, Dad. Thank you, Dad. I didn't quite see what I said, which was 9, completion. In other words, Dad is the portal to the completion. Well, of course, he's the creator of all things. Christian church took on that Jesus was the way. Well, certainly example of it. I say certainly, you know what I mean? Presented as example of it. But the real way is always God, isn't it? The very essence of things is God. The very essence of our being and what being is God, whom we as children know as our Dad, because we needed to know that. And by His grace and loving kindness, He therefore comes as our Dad to our consciousness. That He may lead us into life eternal. Our true Dad. Love you, Heavenly Dad. Thank you, Dad.